Hey guys, it's Bree. I hope you're having a fantastic reading week. Let's go ahead and talk about The Girl in the Tower by Katherine Arden. So for those of you who are around last year, you will know I loved The Bear and the Nightingale. That's the first book that Katherine Arden had released. I will go ahead and link my review up in the iCards up ahead and down in the description bar. And it's a fantastic kind of Russian-esque folk story about a young girl who is seeing Russian fairy tale I want to call them creatures, but more like entities, in a time when Christianity has taken over Russia, has become the big deal. Russian Orthodox churches have taken control of a lot of local villages, and so the Russian folklore creatures are dying. The main character, Vasya, spends the first book kind of trying to convince her family that she's not crazy for seeing these creatures, and is more or less successful in some cases. There's kind of a god of winter who's after her, and he spends the entire time pursuing her. She doesn't really know what's going on. There's like a couple crazy priests involved. It's fantastic. And The Girl in the Tower picks up immediately after The Bear and the Nightingale ends. So the ending of The Bear and the Nightingale is super suspenseful. Vasya gets into this really tough situation with the King of Winter, and she has to kind of flee her home. The people of her village think that she's a witch, and they are ready to burn her, particularly because there is a cleric or a priest in town who is saying that that is the way to make sure that their village is successful. Vasya leaves, and in this book she goes to, well, Moscow. That's where her sister is, where her family is. Her brother is a priest based out of there. And so she flees, not necessarily intending to go to Moscow, but definitely intending to go south and out of her village, away from her home where she'll be safe. The King of Winter has taken her and kind of given her these blessings, given her the resources that she needs, and it's kind of maybe fallen in love with her. But Vasya, of course, is not at all prepared for court. Like at all. Even a little. And so this is about her trying to pass off as somebody who fits in court. At some of these points, she is trying to be a man, which is very, traditional trope in science fiction and fantasy. She is really trying to navigate the social structures that she's not familiar with, while still having this strong faith and belief in, being able to observe and see these Russian entities. And of course, the Russian folklore entities are in direct conflict with the church. That is a lot of what this series is about. So Vasya is trying to juggle all of these things while basically not revealing that she is in fact a woman, and that she is, maybe a threat, question mark, to the leader of the area. It's a little questionable sometimes. But I loved this story. I think it is a fantastic continuation of The Bear and the Nightingale. In fact, I really loved Vasya a lot more in the second story. I found her wit, her charm, her unwillingness to relent to social structures and norms even more compelling. And Vasya's brother Alexander is kind of the secondary main character, and he is way more developed in this book than the first. I liked Alexander in the first. He was kind of the brother who goes away to do what he sees as a greater mission. And in this book, he's the brother who is trying to figure out what the role between family and societal obligations are. I really, really like that kind of conversation, and I like the way that Arden engages it in the context of the story. Vasya is by no means devoid from kind of the magical influences of the story. Obviously, her personality, her plot are all driven by the fact that she sees these fairy tale creatures and that she has a very intimate relationship with them. That is really a hard thing for her to juggle, especially when her family really kind of just wants her to fit in. She's fighting between this role of woman as caretaker and human being as person free and unto themselves. And there just doesn't seem to be a way for her to engage in those at once. She has a well-meaning sister on the one hand and a well-meaning brother who just want her to, like, dear please God, don't get in trouble because then we'll all die. And then she has herself on the other hand, really wanting to be independent, wanting to be in charge of her own future. And then on the third hand, she has the King of Winter who, like, kind of wants her to maybe do both. He can't decide. He loves her for who she is. He loves the spunk and the will and the drive that she has, but wants her safe. And so he can't decide, and he's kind of like totally no help. I mean, he's helpful, but in that particular inner war, he's got nothing. Arden's prose is beautiful. Oh my God. If you just want, like, the most beautiful storytelling that I think is there in modern fiction, you have to read The Girl in the Tower. You have to read The Bear and the Nightingale. It's like listening to the world's best music composition. It's just mellifluous and fluid and, like, kind of makes you want to cry. It's so pretty. And on top of that, the story is engaging. It shows the struggle between being a strong character and being a character who's closely connected with people who expect you not to be. And I think that that is really poignant. I think anybody who's grown up in a tight and close-knit family understands the struggle of trying to be an independent person and trying to be a member of that unit. And I love it. On top of that, the draw on folklore is phenomenal. Katherine Arden has very clearly done her research. The only thing that I think could ever really be said about this book is that there are moments when it's a little slow, but it is the kind of slow that I think really engages with you, that really is there intentionally to give you those pauses to think through what's been going on and the themes of the story. That's not going to be for everyone. Some people love that action-packed adventure, and there are those moments. There are moments of her, like, fleeing from monsters through the woods on horseback. But there are also moments where she's being really contemplative and introspective, and I can appreciate that there's a contrast between both. If you have read The Girl in the Tower, if you have read The Bear and the Nightingale, let me know what you think of it. Clearly, I really enjoyed these two books. I am super excited for the next book. It is unclear if Vasia's kind of maybe on a Baba Yaga-esque trail, and I'm kind of hoping she is, because that would be for me just the cherry on top to watch her become this powerful witch who just, like, takes no prisoners. Either way, you should be picking up Katherine Arden's The Girl in the Tower and The Bear and the Nightingale. They are fantastic and well worth reading. Katherine Arden, fun fact, is also up for the Campbell Award. You should vote for her. You should vote for her. I say that, but I have, like, the three of my top three who I haven't picked between yet, but she's one of the few who I wouldn't be sad if she won the award. I hope you guys are having a fantastic reading week. You know the drill. Go ahead and comment down below, click that like button, and subscribe to this channel. I hope you're having a fantastic reading week. Remember, there is an update at what is now Low T Books, which is my blog, that I am now hosting with a very good friend of mine who has a lot of things to say. And talk to you guys later. Bye.